Gardeners everywhere keep trying new fertilizers, hoping for bigger, healthier, more productive plants, yet few ever learn why their results stay average. There's a certain magic, isn't there, in watching a seed sprout and grow into something that nourishes us. But sometimes that magic seems to fade. We follow the instructions on the packet, we water diligently, and yet our plants lack that certain vitality, that robustness we dream of. We see pictures of bountiful harvests and wonder what secret we're missing, often reaching for another, stronger bottle of feed, hoping this will be the one. The truth is that most commercial fertilizers are designed to keep you buying, but not to unlock your soil's real potential. They often focus on the big three: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are, of course, essential. But they are only part of a much larger, more intricate story. It's like feeding a person only bread, potatoes, and meat while ignoring all the vitamins and minerals that truly make a body thrive. This narrow approach creates a cycle of dependency where your soil never learns to support itself, and your plants are always just getting by, rather than truly flourishing. The real secret lies buried in the soil itself, in the subtle but crucial elements that are so often overlooked. Today, I'll reveal the 12 overlooked minerals that can transform your garden and triple your harvest. Using simple, homemade solutions, we'll move beyond the basics and explore the symphony of nutrients that your plants are crying out for. I'll show you how to listen to your garden and provide what it needs, not from a plastic bottle, but from simple, honest ingredients you likely already have. Together, we will build a foundation of true, lasting health for your soil and your plants. Let's begin with calcium, the very backbone of your plants. Much like it builds strong bones in our own bodies, calcium is the primary component of a plant's cell walls. Strong cell walls mean a sturdier, more resilient plant, one that can stand tall against wind and rain and is far less susceptible to physical damage. It's absolutely vital for root development, creating a vigorous network beneath the soil that can efficiently seek out water and other nutrients. A plant with a strong root system is a plant that is well and truly anchored, ready to thrive. Without sufficient calcium, you'll often see issues like blossom end rot on your tomatoes and peppers, a sure sign the plant's structure is compromised. Happily, providing this essential mineral doesn't require a trip to the garden center. One of the simplest and most effective ways to offer a calcium boost is by using eggshells. After you've enjoyed your breakfast, simply rinse the shells, allow them to dry, and crush them into a fine powder. You can either mix this powder directly into your soil around the base of your plants, or for a more immediate boost, steep the crushed shells in water for a day or two. This creates a wonderful calcium-rich tea that you can use during your regular watering. It's a beautiful, cyclical process, taking a waste product from your kitchen and using it to build the very structure of your garden. Now, if calcium forms the bones, then magnesium is the lifeblood. This mineral is the central atom in every single chlorophyll molecule. Chlorophyll, as you know, is what gives plants their glorious green color, but more importantly, it's the engine of photosynthesis. It's what allows a plant to capture the sun's energy and convert it into sugars, the very food it needs to grow and produce fruit. When a plant is deficient in magnesium, you'll notice it first in the leaves. They'll begin to yellow between the veins, a condition known as chlorosis, signaling that the plant's energy production is faltering. One of the oldest and most reliable gardener's tricks for a magnesium deficiency is a simple dose of Epsom salt, which is nothing more than magnesium sulfate. It's wonderfully effective and acts quickly. All you need to do is dissolve a tablespoon or two in a gallon of water and use it to water your plants, particularly those that are heavy feeders like tomatoes, peppers and roses. You can also use it as a foliar spray, misting the leaves directly for even faster absorption. It's a simple remedy that brings back that deep lush green to your foliage, a clear and satisfying sign that your plant is once again able to harness the power of the sun. Sulfur is one of those wonderful minerals that works behind the scenes, yet its presence is unmistakable in the final harvest. It is a key component of certain amino acids and vitamins, and it plays an enormous role in the formation of enzymes and proteins. For us gardeners, this translates directly into two things we cherish: flavor and resilience. Sulfur is what gives onions, garlic, and brassicas like cabbage and broccoli their characteristic pungent taste and aroma. It also contributes to the production of oils, which is particularly important for herbs and flowers, intensifying their fragrance. Beyond flavor, sulfur is also crucial for a plant's natural defense system. It helps the plant produce compounds that can ward off diseases and pests, making for a healthier garden overall. A fantastic and incredibly frugal source of sulfur is right there in your kitchen scraps. The dry, papery skins of onions and garlic are rich in this mineral. Instead of tossing them into the compost, collect them in a jar. Once you have a good handful, simply steep them in hot water for a few hours or even overnight to create a nutrient-rich tea. Once it cools, you can use this liquid to water your plants, especially those in the allium and brassica families. It's a simple, sustainable way to enhance both the health and the flavor of your produce. We now move on to a mineral that is needed in truly tiny amounts, yet its absence can have a devastating impact on your harvest. I'm talking about boron. Think of boron as the master architect for the reproductive parts of the plant. It is absolutely essential for pollen germination and the growth of the pollen tube, which means that without it, pollination simply cannot occur successfully. It also plays a critical role in cell division and the transport of sugars, ensuring that the plant has the energy to form healthy, well-developed flowers and subsequently abundant fruit. Because it's a micronutrient, you must be incredibly careful when applying it. Too much can be toxic. A deficiency often shows up as stunted growth, brittle stems, and poor fruit or seed set. For a simple homemade solution, you can use common household borax, but with extreme caution. The correct dose is minuscule, no more than half a teaspoon of borax dissolved thoroughly in a gallon of water. This solution should only be applied once per growing season, either as a soil drench or a very light foliar spray to your entire garden bed. It's a testament to the fact that in gardening, as in life, sometimes the smallest things can make the biggest difference. Zinc is another one of those micronutrients that punches well above its weight. It acts as a crucial catalyst, activating enzymes that are responsible for the synthesis of certain proteins. It is particularly important in the production of auxins, which are the growth hormones of the plant world. These hormones regulate the size and elongation of cells, meaning zinc has a direct effect on the overall size and stature of your plants. A healthy supply of zinc leads to proper leaf development, strong stem elongation, and a generally vigorous plant. A lack of zinc will often manifest as stunted growth, with new leaves appearing unusually small or bunched together in a rosette. To provide a natural source of this vital element, you can turn to things you might otherwise discard. The shells of nuts like pecans or walnuts, as well as pumpkin seeds, are good sources of zinc. While they take a long time to break down, adding crushed nutshells to your compost pile will slowly release zinc into the finished compost over time. For a more immediate, albeit milder solution, you can soak pumpkin seeds in water for a day and use that water for your plants. It's a gentle way to ensure your plants have the hormonal balance they need to reach their full potential. Manganese is a fascinating mineral that acts rather like a conductor in an orchestra, ensuring that all the other instruments are playing in harmony. Its primary role is to assist in the process of photosynthesis, but it is also critically involved in nitrogen metabolism. This means it helps the plant take up and utilize other essential nutrients more effectively, particularly nitrogen and iron. Manganese plays a key part in the development of new shoots and leaves, and in the germination of seeds, getting your plants off to the best possible start. It is the great enabler of the mineral world, A deficiency can look very similar to a magnesium or iron deficiency, with yellowing between the leaf veins, but it usually affects the new, younger leaves first. A wonderful natural way to supply a gentle dose of manganese is to make a simple leaf tea. As leaves decompose, they release the minerals they've stored over their lifetime. You can gather a handful of fallen leaves from your garden, avoiding any that show signs of disease, and steep them in a bucket of water for a week or two. This slow decomposition creates a mild, nutrient-rich liquid that you can use to water your plants, returning those valuable minerals, including manganese, right back to the soil from which they came. Iron is absolutely fundamental to a plant's life, performing a function that is, honestly, pretty analogous to the role of blood in our own bodies. It's a key component of many enzymes and is essential for chlorophyll synthesis. Without iron, a plant simply cannot produce that deep green pigment, and therefore can't photosynthesize effectively. It's also vital for the plant's metabolism and respiratory systems. In essence, its ability to breathe and create energy. A plant that is rich in iron is a plant that is strong, vibrant, and full of life, with that deep, healthy green color we all love to see. Iron deficiency is quite common, especially in alkaline soils, and it presents itself as a stark yellowing of the newest leaves while the veins remain green. It's a very distinct pattern. An old, almost forgotten trick to combat this is to use rusty nails. The rust, which is iron oxide, can be made available to your plants. Simply place a few old rusty nails or any other small piece of rusty, untreated iron into your watering can and let it sit. Every time you water, a minuscule amount of iron will leach into the water and be delivered directly to the plant's roots. It's a slow, steady, and remarkably effective way to correct a deficiency and restore that vital green to your garden. Copper is another one of those minerals required in very small quantities, but its role as a guardian of the garden is, honestly, indispensable. It is a vital activator for numerous enzyme systems within the plant involved in everything from photosynthesis to respiration. However, its most celebrated role is in strengthening a plant's natural defense mechanisms. Copper is a key component in the production of lignin, a complex polymer that makes cell walls rigid and woody. More importantly, it has natural fungicidal properties, helping the plant to resist common diseases like blight and mildew. A touch of copper helps your plants defend themselves. Because it can be toxic in high amounts, we need a gentle method of application. One of the safest and easiest ways to introduce a trace amount of copper into your watering routine is to use a piece of copper wire or a small length of copper pipe. Simply place it in your watering can and leave it there permanently. Each time you fill the can, a tiny, almost immeasurable amount of copper will dissolve into the water. This provides a constant, low-level supply to your plants, bolstering their immune systems without any risk of overdose. It's a simple, set-and-forget method for adding a layer of protection to your entire garden. Silicon is a mineral that has been, largely ignored by traditional agriculture, but its benefits are becoming increasingly clear. It is not considered essential in the classical sense, as a plant can complete its life cycle without it, but its presence makes a world of difference. Silicon acts like a suit of armor for the plant. It is absorbed and deposited in the cell walls, literally strengthening the plant from the inside out. This makes stems stronger, leaves tougher, and the entire plant more resistant to physical stress, from strong winds to the munching of insect pests. It also improves drought and heat tolerance. This wonderful strengthening mineral can be found in abundance in one particular plant, horsetail, or Equisetum arvens. While often considered a persistent weed, horsetail is a dynamic accumulator of silicon. You can turn this weed into a powerful tonic for your garden. Gather a large handful of horsetail, chop it up, and simmer it in a pot of water for about 20 to 30 minutes. After it cools, strain the liquid and dilute it, using about 1 part horsetail tea to 5 parts water. This can be used as a foliar spray or a soil drench to provide your plants with the silicon they need to build up their physical defenses and stand strong in the face of adversity. Now we come to a mineral that is needed in the most minute quantities of all, so small it's measured in parts per billion, yet it performs a truly magical task. Molybdenum is essential for the function of two key enzymes. One of these converts nitrates into a usable form within the plant. The other is even more remarkable. It is used by nitrogen-fixing bacteria, the kind that live in nodules on the roots of legumes like beans, peas, and clover. These bacteria pull nitrogen gas from the air and fix it into a form the plant can use. Molybdenum is the key that unlocks this incredible natural process. Without molybdenum, legumes cannot effectively fix their own nitrogen, and you will see signs of nitrogen deficiency, pale, yellowing leaves and stunted growth, even though the air all around them is full of it. A simple and beautifully logical way to provide this trace element is to use the water you use to rinse or soak your beans and lentils before cooking. That cloudy water contains trace elements, including molybdenum, that have leached from the legumes themselves. Instead of pouring it down the drain, save it and use it to water your peas and beans. It's a perfect example of closing a loop, returning to the plants the very thing they need to perform their unique magic. Very much in the same vein as molybdenum, cobalt is another unsung hero, particularly for those of us who grow legumes. Like molybdenum, cobalt is not directly used by the plant itself in large quantities, but it is absolutely vital for the nitrogen-fixing bacteria that live in symbiosis with legume roots. These rhizobia bacteria require cobalt to create a compound called cobalamin, also known as vitamin B12. This compound is essential for the bacteria to carry out the process of converting atmospheric nitrogen into plant-available fertilizer. In short, no cobalt, no B12 for the bacteria, and therefore far less free nitrogen for your beans and peas. It's another piece of the intricate puzzle of soil life. Ensuring its presence can make a significant difference in the vigor and productivity of your leguminous crops. One of the best natural sources for a wide spectrum of trace minerals, including cobalt, is the sea. Seaweed, in all its forms, is a fantastic soil amendment. You can create a simple seaweed infusion by steeping dried seaweed, like kelp meal, in a bucket of water for several days until the water turns dark and rich. This sea tea can then be diluted and used to water your plants, especially your legumes, providing them with cobalt and a host of other beneficial trace elements that support the complex web of life beneath the soil. We've journeyed through these 12 overlooked minerals, from the structural power of calcium to the subtle but vital work of cobalt. Each one plays a unique and irreplaceable role, but the real magic, the secret to a truly thriving garden, doesn't come from applying just one of these solutions. It comes from understanding that your garden is a complex ecosystem, and a holistic approach is always best. By thoughtfully incorporating these simple, homemade solutions into your regular gardening routine, you begin to create a balanced and complete nutritional profile in your soil. The eggshell water provides the structure, the Epsom salt fuels the photosynthesis, the onion skin tea enhances the flavor, and the seaweed infusion supports the microbial life. Instead of a single, heavy-handed dose of a commercial fertilizer, you are providing a continuous, gentle symphony of nutrients. This approach fosters a resilient, self-sustaining system. Your soil becomes a living, breathing entity, rich in microbial life and chock full of all the trace elements plants need, not just to survive, but to flourish. Your plants will have stronger defenses, deeper colors, more intense flavors, and ultimately will reward you with a harvest that is far more abundant and nutritious. This is the heart of it all, feeding the soil, not just the plant, and creating a garden that works in harmony with nature's own blueprint. And there you have it. The secret to a truly spectacular harvest isn't found in a brightly colored box or a plastic jug. It lies in the soil, in the subtle balance of minerals that we've explored today. By moving beyond the simple NPK and embracing this wider spectrum of nutrients, you are not just feeding your plants, you are nurturing the entire ecosystem of your garden. You are building a foundation of health that will pay dividends for seasons to come, with stronger plants, fewer diseases, and produce that is not only more abundant, but richer in flavor and nutrition. This is gardening as it was meant to be, a partnership with nature. It's about observing, listening, and responding with simple, honest care. Using eggshells, rusty nails, and seaweed isn't just about saving money. It's about reconnecting with a more intuitive and sustainable way of growing. It closes the loops in our homes and gardens, turning waste into wealth and fostering a deeper understanding of the world beneath our feet. I hope this journey into the mineral life of your soil has inspired you to look at your garden and your kitchen scraps in a new light. The potential for abundance is already there. You just need to unlock it. If this guide helped you unlock the full potential of your garden, remember to subscribe to Nature's Blueprint and share this video with your gardening friends. Let's grow stronger, healthier, and more productive gardens together. Every comment and every share helps our community grow, allowing us to continue exploring the simple, powerful secrets that nature has to offer. Thank you for joining me in the garden today. Now, let's get our hands dirty.